is the offspring of their mother and father, all right? So when your parents come together, they have you, which you are the offspring, and then this is when we have the word DNA coming. Everybody say DNA.
DNA.
All right. So DNA is the information. You could look right here on the board too. That's where our vocabulary words are. DNA is the information about how someone will look and function. All right. So I'm gonna show you a picture right here on the board. DNA. All right, so DNA is information that comes together, that is formed together to pretty much tell how you will look and function, all right? So if you see, it kind of looks like little ladders, all right? So when your mom and your father come together, DNA starts to form. And all that information from your mom and your father come together, and they get a little bit from each, and then your DNA is starting to form, all right? All right, so that is a picture of DNA. Everybody has DNA inside of it. You can't really see it, but everybody has DNA, all right? So once that DNA is formed, then we have something called inherited traits. Everybody say inherited traits.
Inherited traits.
All right, so if we look right here on our chart, inherited traits is passed on from parent to offspring, all right? So all of that DNA is formed together, and then the offspring comes and you inherit traits from your parents, all right? And traits is, everybody say traits?
Traits.
A single characteristic of a living thing, all right? So when your parents come together, they have you, which you are the offspring, and you inherit different traits, physical traits from your parents, all right? So now, let's identify what traits are. So there are physical characteristics of a human. Who can think solid vertical hands some traits that we all have, okay? Let me give you think time. Everybody say think time.
Think time.
I want you to think, what are some physical traits that you think everybody has? Let you think for about 20 seconds. What are some traits that you think everybody has? Something that you can see. Let me give you a hint. I'm gonna point to it. What are some physical traits that you think everybody has? All right, I see hands. I love the hands. All right, let's start off with Brian. What are some traits you think everybody has? How many eyes do most humans have? 2 eyes. Good. What's some other traits? Akia. Hands. How many hands do we all have?
10. Oh.
Akia. Only Akia. How many hands do we all have? 2. A total of hands. 10 hands, good. What's some other traits? Diamond. Feet, how many feet do we have? We have 2 feet, but a total toes. How many toes we have? 10. Everybody has 10 toes. Most people have 10 toes. Nivea, what's another one? Lips, good, good. One more, come on. Ears, how many ears do all humans have? 2, good, good, all right? All right, so let's move along, all right? So we have some examples up here that we will track it, all right? We have some examples of traits right here, all right? And we're gonna dive into a little bit in a minute and talk about some specific traits, all right? So, moving on. All right, so now let's move on, all right? So offspring of the same parents inherit different combinations of traits from their parents. It's why children of the same parents differ from each other, all right? So now, let's talk about, sit up. All right, so now let's talk about when your parents have multiple offsprings, all right? Can somebody tell me what an offspring is? Serenity?
Offspring is
What do you think offspring is? Can somebody hear Brad? What do you think offspring is? Malaysian? Huh? Not your heart. Diamond. Right. Good. You say good job, Diamond.
good job, Diamond.
All right, so offspring is the mother and father's child. So remember, all of you are offspring, okay? So Now, let's talk about when parents have multiple children, all right? So, raise your hand if you have siblings. All right. Now, hands down. Raise your hand if all of your siblings look alike. I mean, look exactly alike. If all of y'all look exactly alike. Not if y'all look alike, but if y'all look exactly alike. Y'all have the same hair, same eyes. So, Kamar, you look exactly like your brother?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Serenity, you think you look exactly like your sibling?
Yeah, I look like my brother and my sister.
Okay. Raven. All right, Abigail.
I look like my
Okay. All right, good. All right, so now I have a lot of people say we have siblings and we look alike. But now we may all look similar, tracking table 3. We may all look similar, but none of us look exactly alike. None of y'all are twins to your siblings, okay? Even twins, they may look alike, but they don't look exactly alike. And that's where the word variation comes in. Everybody say variation.
variation.
All right, so variation is the difference among objects or organisms. So let's look at our picture right here. We have a orange bunny, an orange mouse, and a green mouse, all right? And they have offspring, all right? But as we see, even though they have the same trace of whiskers, they do not have the same color, all right? So we have 2 of them that are green and 2 of them that are purple. So when your parents have offsprings, you get all those different traits, but sometimes you don't get the same trait. All right, some people get this trait and some of your siblings get the other trait. That's the reason why none of us look exactly alike our siblings. All right, just hold it for a second. All right, so that is variation. All right, so now let's hop into our activity today. So remember we talked about traits, which is physical characteristics of organisms. All right, so today we're going to talk about some specific characteristics. All right, specific characteristics. All right. So as we have right here is our bar graph that we're going to do together. All right. So Mr. Carr, you picked out about 4 specific traits. All right. And what we're going to do, we're going to fill in our trait right here, and then we're going to count amongst each other to see who has that specific trait. All right. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready?
Yes!
All right, let's hop into it, okay? So our first trait is dimples. Excuse me, sir. Can you keep personal comments to yourself? All right? It's dimples. All right? So what I want you to do, I want you to look around the class silently, and I want you to see in the class who has dimples. So dimples are, when you smile, there are 2 lumps in your face. So silently, I want you to look around the class and see who has dimples, all right? Silently. Remember, we've been working on silent communication, all right? So I want you to look around and see who has dimples. See, look around and see who has dimples. All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check your slant. Good job, guys. All right. Now, when I call your hand, I want you to stand up if you have dimples. All right. So when I say go, stand up if you have dimples. Go. Quietly stand up if you have dimples. So when you smile, 2 lumps show up in your face. Stand up if you have dimples, all right? All right, so what we're gonna do now, guys, is that we're gonna do a tally count of everybody who has the specific trait of dimples, all right? So let's count, starting off at table 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all right? So now we're gonna come to our bar graph, and we're gonna make tally marks of all the people in our class that have dimples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so 7 people in our class have dimples. All right, have a seat. right, so that is our example. Now, it's time for you guys to join along, all right? So, I'm coming around with our bar graph survey, and together, we are going to identify some traits, and we are going to make tally marks of the people who have those specific traits. So, when you get your paper, put your name on it, and get back and slant. Oh, that's just my time. It's okay. You give you about 10 seconds to write your name. You should be tracking me once you're done. 10, 9, 8, 7, keep going, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right? So now, let's move on to our next specific trait. Our next specific trait is brown eyes. So as I am filling in on our big survey up here, you're going to be filling in too, okay? So we have brown eyes. I want you to silently look around the class and see who in our class has the specific trait of brown eyes, all right? Now remember, everybody doesn't have brown eyes. Some people may have black eyes. Some people may have the trait of green eyes. So I'm gonna give you about 20 seconds. I want you to look around the class and see who has brown eyes. Go. We're seated as we looking around. We don't have to walk around. We're seated, Katie. Have a seat. All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check your slant. I'm trying to check your slant. All right, now stand up if you have the trait of brown eyes. Stand up if you have the trait of brown eyes.
I got black.
All right, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 of our classmates have brown eyes. So everybody be seated. Now I want you to fill in your chart of 13 students who have brown eyes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 7 of our classmates that have dimples and 13 of our classmates that have brown eyes, right? So fill in on the chart at the front. Make sure you label right here, dimples and brown eyes right there. Make sure you label it in the chart. It should be brown eye, dimples right here, and brown eyes, and then we're gonna make the lines just like that on the chart. Good job. Good job, man. I want you to label just like that on the chart. I want you to write dimples. I want you to write brown eyes. Good. And we're gonna put tally marks right there. 13 of them.
Hey, I got Alexa.
All right, about 20 more seconds. Yes, ma'am. Can you see? Yeah, sit right here so you can see. Sit right here so you can see. All right, come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check your slant. Oh, we almost at 100%. Check your slant. All right, good job, guys. All right, now let's move on to our next trait. Our next trait is freckles. So I wonder who in the class has freckles. So silently, I want you to look at your classmates and see who has the trait freckles. All right, I'm going to put a picture up here just in case we don't know what freckles are. Freckles.
That's what you can see.
Freckles